What we're talking about today is the work that you guys do beyond the church walls, the roles you play in our community and in trying to keep the community together, lift the community up, and develop the community. Bishop Ellis, I'll start with you.
I'm carrying on a 25 years now legacy from my father. He was the first to move beyond the walls of the church in terms of a Montessori daycare center, and then a Christian school that went from kindergarten to the 8th grade, and then apartments, duplexes that allow people to live in affordable housing, and then the credit union, federal credit union. So I'm just carrying on that legacy. We've tried to specialize for years, going beyond the walls and ministering to people outside of these confines of Greater Grace Temple.
Yeah. Reverend Ellis?
Yes, and it's really divine providence that we would be on the show together, Bishop Ellis and myself, because his father and my father were contemporaries and colleagues and very good friends. And they did a lot of the same work, housing. Also, we have tried to ignite employment opportunities through economic development. So on the church property, there is a adjacent development corporation entity in the church.
So talk about why, especially for the Black community, the church is this incredible engine of economic development and opportunity. Bishop Ellis?
Well, I would say that it's always been. When you think about the church coming out of slavery, the church was that gathering place, even on the plantation down by the riverside. Think about the songs that they sing, those spiritual songs and hymns. I'm going to lay down my burdens down by the riverside. Those were gathering places. And many times those songs that they sang were messages that they were sharing one with another that the slave masters did not understand and could not comprehend. So the church was always that place of trust for Black people. It was always that place of integrity for Black people. It was always that place where you knew that you could get a fair deal. You knew that you can get somebody who would be sensitive to your plight and to your situation and would not just, lay hands on you and pray for you, and give you a spiritual high and then, release you and say, hey, make it for yourself. It was always that institution that wrapped its arms around you. We know the burden and we know the plight of not having enough and just barely making it. And that's why we've always been, an economic engine as well. We want to see our people educated. We want to see them be able to apply for jobs. And listen, I give credit to the UAW and to a lot of institutions, and thank God that we have people like you and others in places of influence, that when opportunities come, you bring it to the church and say, Bishop, I need 20 good people, and I'm going to give them a break on your integrity and on your word, and that's what we've been blessed to have probably in the last 30 or 40 years. And that's made a tremendous difference in people in our congregations, which is our community, getting a fair shake on the American dream.
Yeah. Reverend?
Yeah, absolutely. That is a powerful question, because this is a cross that the church has been compelled to bear. We have to be so many people, counselors, preachers, pastors, economic developers. We have to, employment agencies, we have to have so many roles and so many hats because of the necessity of access to it. Now, if somebody has emotional crisis in a wealthy neighborhood, they hire a psychoanalyst at $200 or $300 an hour or more, and they make an appointment. These are a lot of those appointments we feel ourselves, and we walk people through changes and challenges in life because we have to, because people can't afford that. But it's a role that we gladly play. We start the engine for economic development because corporations are skittish about coming into the community and paying the Black tax. We have to make the case that you can make money in the African American community. And when they can't get the small business loans, they have to come to district credit union because they can't get the money elsewhere. And we have to create the opportunities that are in other communities just because of the demographic differences. So we have to play that role. Now, the question is, for me, Stephen, when do we start making sure that we compel the government to do their job? Because we shouldn't have to play all these roles. It's the government's job to make sure everybody has access to fair housing. It's the government's job. We're paying taxes just like everybody else. This myth that African Americans are just somehow living off the fat of the land and we're not paying any taxes is a lie. And many of the economic development entities that we're talking about in engines pay taxes. And look, the government has to provide equal access to healthcare. The government has to provide equal access to education. The government has to provide equal access to opportunity. And we have to continue to pressure them to do it. We have to march. We have to continue to fight. We have to continue to advocate. And ultimately, it will help everybody. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.